welcome to this episode where we are going to talk about the types of people you should have in your life. Because this is a reality life that we go through. And you can't tell me that you don't need people, that even when you are going to talk to people, even when you belong to emotional healing, even when you belong to mental health, even when you belong to leadership, you realize that you are dealing with people, you are a people for people. All right? But that means that there are certain needs or there are certain kinds of people that you need in your life in order to flourish, not only as a people helper, but even as a normal person. Okay? And I classify those people under 4. I've always talked about the 3 categories, but when I thought about it deeper and the kinds of people that I have needed in my life, and this happened recently when I was talking about dreamers have visions, is something that I was shooting for as content, and then I realized that I am not self-made and I have never been self-made. I have been on this journey and so many people have held my hands. And so many people have even paid it forward for me. So right now, I'm also trying to pay it forward for some people. I'm paying it forward for Ariella, that maybe one day someone will actually hold her hand. And I broke down the people that have held my hand, right from my mother to my husband to the people that I am working with, Coach Fifi, Ben, Coach Molly, the people that have been in my surrounding. They have been people that have been put and planted in my life for a reason. And I don't take that for granted, because sometimes we go through life and we take everything so simple and everything so easy. So I found out that one of the people that we need, the types of people that we need in our lives are friends. Friends. Okay? A friend will get you. A friend will stick closer than even a brother. So many times. A friend will lay down their life for you. These things do not just stop appearing in the Bible and in the scriptures. They appear in normal life. Some of us have had the best definitions of friends, of people that are not related to us, blood relation, or even sharing the last name, but they have been more family than family. Okay? So that means that in your quest and your journey for helping people, for touching millions of lives, there is no way you're going to be an independent, just like say a matchbox cannot stand on its own. Okay? It needs to be rubbed somewhere in order for the fire to be ignited. And then if you light it in isolation, it dies off so quickly. So we say that if they become piles of wood, you realize that the fire takes longer. Okay? So you cannot say, and I know I have had so many, the reason as to why I chose to talk about this is, number one, I think I was the pioneer of that. You know, I don't have friends. I used to be that kind of person. You know, I'm introverted. You know, and then when I get to speak, when someone says, but are you introverted or you are mistaken? Because here you are a different person and here you are a different person. And then you don't have friends. And sometimes because we have been backstabbed. Sometimes because we have been betrayed. Sometimes because we have been misunderstood. And sometimes because we have also misunderstood other people. So you realize that there's a breeding ground that constantly takes away friends, the would-be friends from us. And yet, in the quest and the pursuit of our vision, we need friends. We need the coals of fire. You need someone who will get you, someone who will understand what you are going through, someone who will, you know, and what friends get from you is you. Do you know that there are people in this world who will get your time, who will get your talent, and they are not your friends? Yeah. They will get your talent. Okay? For example, we are in this mentorship with all the people that have gone through the mentorship. I will tell you a fact that most of them have gotten my talent, most of them have gotten my ability, but they have not gotten me. Do you understand what the difference is? They have not gotten me. But at any time, if Coach Fifi wants to see me, even if she told me it's past midnight or it's 3 a.m. and I want to see you, I will not hesitate. She has me. She's past the level of just getting my talent. She's past the level of just getting my ability. She's past the level of anything, name it. You get it? Sometimes when I call Ben, when we talk on phone, like today, and I told him, I just missed you. Not everyone gets that statement from me. Not everyone. Actually, very few, because I use my words very calculative. Okay? So, friends will get you. Friends will have your back. Friends will understand you. That is why when you start these cohorts, I usually tell people, get a study partner. Okay? And even to everyone that is watching us, that is not even about people, pursuing their purpose or passion or even people helping, you realize that it all applies to us, that we need people. We need friends. The number one reason they have found that so many people do not last as long as they should have lasted is because they never create relationships, appropriate relationships in their lives. So this is what happens. While you are still in your 30s and your 40s and you're running around energetic, making money and, throwing parties and having the fun of your life, when the curve of life starts getting down to 40, to 50, most of the people already evacuated on your life. They ran for their dear life, okay? Because you speak, have you seen people that have been corrupted by power? They speak so bad. Have you seen people that have been corrupted by money? When someone tells you, before so-and-so had money, she was our guy, our people. But ever since they got money, have you heard the way they speak? They speak to everyone like they're a rag, They order, they are sarcastic, they command. They don't have anyone they bring. And you do those things, and let me tell you, people that are wise will keep getting your resources because they will know what buttons to press. They will come sevo, they will come nyabo, madamu, bossy. They will call you all the names just to get the resources from you because they have discovered they cannot get you. Now they would rather get the next best thing that they can get from you. Okay? Because it comes cheap. What? I will dig, I will get. I will wash, I will get. I will do something, I will get. And then, after that, when you get to your 50s, when your body is becoming frail, when that is when your children are starting to host introduction parties in your home, no one wants to cross your gate. There is no one to invite because that is where, you remember in the Bible where the rich man opened the gates for everyone to come in and no one was still coming in. Seeds that they planted in their lives that they were now reaping. So be careful with how you treat friends. Be careful with how you treat friends. Not everyone is supposed to be your friend, but you need friends. And when you know that you need friends, that's when you say, now I'm not just going to be, you know how we pause as we say, me, I don't have friends, and we think it's a nice statement. Cool. I don't know, it sounds cool, eh? Like, me, I don't have friends. Now, me, I'm a loner. I just love my me time. It's okay. Love your me time, but make sure that you love your me time at 60 and at 70. Love your me time when you're on your sick bed. Love your me time when you don't have money. It's easy to say things when you have everything together. You get it? It's easy to say when the situations are easy. But when you get a problem, and I have seen this, it is coming here, but I've seen it so much in the West, and someone, they interview a celebrity, and they say, in my time of need, I got a phone, and I did not have any contact that I could call. And someone ended up even just committing suicide. Yes, exactly. And sometimes I know that we tend to run away from responsibility, and people have so much expectations of us. I have learned to be very straightforward with what I can and what I can't do. Because then undefined expectations sometimes are the ones that cause us issues. So you start running away from people, and yet you need the people in your life. So friends will get you any time. Others can get your time, your talents, your resources, but friends will get you. You'll be there for them. That is where there are people who invite you for something and you will feel so guilty. Yeah. You'll even feel so guilty, and a friend will understand you even when you show up empty-handed. They'll still understand. They'll be like, I know her heart. If she was well, it's either she didn't find, a friend can put her hand for you, be like, she either didn't find time to go through a supermarket, or she didn't, but they will know that, by the way, you are okay. And they will be okay with it. They will not even question it. It's only people that want your time, your talents, your gifts, that will put their gifts first. Yeah. Be like, oh, what did they bring? What did they become like Ariella. You go home, when you call Ariella, I'm coming home, I missed you. Like, but what did you bring in Capella? So I need us to be able to know that, and I need us to make peace with that, and I need us to actually go back and be able to rectify that. Number 2 are associates. Now, associates, 3 things that I have noticed about associates: what you would call colleagues, what you would call acquaintances, okay? It's either you share a schedule, okay? Or you have common interests. So you see what joins you are the things that you do. You have intersections, okay? You have a common schedule, you have common interests, or you have common goals. So that is those are associates. For example, your children go to the same school, and maybe you have a parents' day, and you always meet at parents' days or speech days or something like that. You're associates. You work together. Not everyone that works with you should be your friend. Some of them are your associates. You share a schedule. Every morning you have to appear at work. You have a common goal. We must drive this company to somewhere. You have common interests, that we are all technicians, so we are working together. So sometimes what fails us is we mislabel people. So you label an associate a friend. And these types, the 4 types of people, do not give the same value. They do not. And then guess what? They do not give the same value, and you do not give them the same value. So this is a give and take. So the value you give to an associate is not the same value you give to a friend. So some of us, the people that are in mentorship, you will finish the mentorship and you're just associates with someone. But there are people that you're going to finish the mentorship with, like TAS Ministries, and you will walk away with a friend. Okay? There are people that have walked away with more than friends, with spouses. Workplaces. You began by being associates. You went into friendship. And then the friendship slid into a relationship. But this is what happens. You sit with someone in a cafeteria, and then you start pouring your life out, like you're pouring to a friend. Started telling them, yesterday my husband beat me. That man. And then, you've never seen people like that? Yeah. Someone will pour out everything. And then, all of a sudden, they hear someone backbiting them, and then they say, so-and-so has Lugambo. No, you weaponized them. You mislabeled them. There's certain information that only friends can possess. Because even friends, there are friends that stop at the courtyard, there are friends that will come in the sitting room, and there are friends that you will take to the bedroom. Not every friend even is the same. Even siblings, yes. There are those that you will know, they've come into your home and you'll be like, close all doors. Like, seriously. So do you see how when we mislabel people, because we are people helpers, and every one of us on this earth has a mandate, has a calling to be a people helper. But sometimes we come to places of people helping with a lot of wounds because of the wrong choices that we have made or the misallocation of the people in our lives. So when you have the same goal, when you have the same schedule, when you have the same interests, we all play football, we go for aerobics, and all of a sudden, you make an acquaintance, your friend. That is when all the backstabbing happens. And this is what happens. But even so and so, I should have expected it from anyone else. Stop calling associates friends. And then there are people that will call you an associate and then you will call them friends. For them, they have labeled you right, but for you have mislabeled them. Or there are people that are going to call you a friend and for you call them an associate. And sometimes they will even guilt trip you for not letting them in your life. I don't know whether it has happened to you. Because they're like, if she really liked me, she would have invited me to that party. But my friend, hello, maybe that party belonged to some people. Maybe you overestimated yourself and your importance. You get it? I think you've seen these things happen. There are hard things to talk about. There are hard conversations to have. Remember when I said that sometimes we don't have what we want because we are not as good as we thought we were. The world quarreled. I had people, when someone blames a messenger, I was like, you're beating a messenger, So if you got the information and it went deep down in your heart and it hurt you, that means there's something you need to correct. Otherwise, you'd have seen it and scrolled and just go on with your life. Go on your merry life, okay? So let's stop mislabeling people. Sometimes you can have a spouse that is mislabeled. You have labeled them a friend, but they are calling you an associate. As in, we share a common schedule of coming back to this house. And we share a common schedule of going to that bed. And then we have a common schedule called children. Okay? And then we have bills to pay. That is a common goal and a common interest. You are dying for their love. And they are only saying, this love that I have belongs to, not to. You've seen those things happening. I'm not talking about things that come from Mars, from planet Earth. Because you cannot call a friend stupid. You cannot call a friend a dog. You cannot tell a friend you have long black breasts when they are breastfeeding your child of 1 day. You can't. So that means there's a lot of mislabeling. And that is what is causing us problems. Because if we could take a back seat or just a step back, and then you evaluate the situation and say, okay, we started off as friends and maybe lovers, and I thought, yes, we are in the same space, but I think now we have become islands that have drifted apart. We were together, but now we have become islands that have drifted apart. And no force of nature can bring us together, because there has to be willingness of everyone walking from their corner to come back together. But if one part is not willing and they are stuck in one place or drifting apart, that means even if you chased for 100 years, you will never catch them. Yeah. So there are people in marriages wasting their time. And people in relationships wasting their time. And, you know, when it comes to such relationships, this is what they steal from you. They steal your time. They steal the resources. But do you know what hurts me most? They steal your creativity, because your brain can never function at the same level when you are stressed. Because then if you have to second guess whether someone is in your life or not in your life, what exactly are you doing? That means they have not been able, they have not taken it upon themselves to make a decision, and that means you have to make a decision. So whether that decision involves them or does not involve them, a decision has to be made, because so many people are dying in a valley of indecisiveness. Because they are waiting. And then whatever they are waiting is not coming. And the Bible says that hope deferred makes the soul sick. And I love it better in Luganda, because in Luganda says nesubi erirwa lisindukirize meme. Omanya omuntu asindukirirwe meme abeera n'emirembe. Atula ali kubunkenka nti bw'abeera mu taxi abeera ng'agamba banange muyimirire ekaawo. As in, it's not a peaceful life. And we were not created to be peaceful. And life changers, world changers, transformers, freedom seekers, gladiators, and game changers, you can never be a game changer if you are having a sick soul. You can't give what you don't have. You know, I want you to be happy while you are sorrowful. Someone even looks at you, because there are so many people that have come to me, definitely because of the different situations. You look at them and tell them, and me, these days I don't have time to beat around with being conventional. I tell you that you are 37, but you look 48 or 50. What's happening? Let's start there, because let me tell you, going back to friends, you know, I told you that friends get you, but other people will get your gifts. Do you know that someone can pay for a counseling session and they come and lie to you after paying? Yeah. They come and don't open up. And because sometimes when we are starting up off maybe in the coaching section, we have too much time. So we give them the benefit of time. Okay, when you have time, you will come back. My friend, when you have time, come back with more money. Yes. Let's not waste each other's time. You paid, you don't want to open up. What did you pay for? Because once your time elapses, I will say next, right? But I will tell you we are not done. I will tell you have not even moved an inch. I will tell you if you want to have results, be honest. I will tell you if you're not comfortable being honest with me, be honest with another. I can even refer. You get it? So, associates. Let's stop mislabeling people at all levels. Sometimes you're mislabeling your boss. Yeah. And sometimes because someone has done an act of kindness, because some of us have wrong attachment styles, or someone hugs you and it's a cozy hug and you're like, oh, I have a best friend, so-and-so is my best friend. Sometimes we are like we are in kindergarten. It's Ariella who comes every day and tells me a new best friend. Now, some of us, because we are not used to kindness, even when someone pats your shoulder like this, do you know that someone pats your shoulder and then you say, you know, he loves me. He has feelings for me. People have said those things. Because someone phoned you without lunch and gave you money, then now you're saying, he's interested in me. No, there's someone just being kind. Kind people exist. Yeah, kind people exist. And that is why some of us stopped being kind. Because our kindness, to some extent, was being misread and misinterpreted.
There's a thing, but there are no free things.
There are no free that is what people think. But let me tell you, we are still so many that are kind and are willing to do anything for nothing. And actually, it is just our satisfaction that when you do something kind to someone, and sometimes you're thinking, maybe, sometimes I would do things and I'm like, even before I gave birth, I'm like, I'm doing this. Maybe someone, a stranger somewhere, will help my child somewhere. And I'm not doing that. They will praise me or they will give me anything. And helping someone who is not in a position to help you back is the biggest satisfaction. The biggest kind of satisfaction. So let's stop labeling. Okay? Yeah. Just like sometimes we get into places and we think we are permanent in those places. We have mislabeled them as permanent, and yet they are temporary. Okay? God took you into that relationship to grow you. And maybe it was a relationship that was not even meant to last. And now for you, the moment you got in and someone said, I love you, you proclaimed to the whole world, baggage. And so we proclaim different different things. Could be a job, could be, you know, someone that has come into your life. We say that some people are temporary and some people are permanent, that they are going to be part of our history and a part of our future. But there are some people who will come for specific seasons. And by the way, those seasons, some of them can be kind of, when I think it was Elijah, when he was fed by the ravens, that was a temporary situation. It was not a permanent situation. But you know that sometimes he could have gotten stuck under that tree and said, bring them, season out of season, season. He would, but it was just for a season. So I also want us to be very discerning when it comes to seasons, okay? Number 3. We have friends, we have associates, and then we have assignments. There are types of people that come into our lives or that we meet, and they are our assignment. You are supposed to help them. You're supposed to hold their hands. You're supposed to flash a light in their dark situation. You're supposed to break down the ambiguous situation they were going through. You are supposed to make light the burden they were carrying. They are our assignment. So if you're a people helper here, you will understand that the people that you are assigned to, or the people that are your assignment, your biggest compensation is the fulfillment and the satisfaction that you get out of the service that you give. Not even the resources that they give to you. They are your assignment. And that is why I usually say that if you fail to show up in the time that you are supposed to show up, the people that you are assigned to are stuck. They get more stuck. Because maybe they have listened to all sorts of motivational speakers, they have listened to all leaders, they have listened to everyone, but maybe their messages have not cut across, and they need you. You are the one with the right word in their lives at that moment so that they can break free. Because it doesn't take to be the biggest orator in the world in order to be life-changing.